How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible at a catch weight?
There ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
You're not even entertaining a catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And what champ? Come on, man. Tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at.
All right,
I'll welcome him.
The feud between Tank and Crawford is still raging in the boxing world, and it appears like these two will continue to fight for a long time. For years, Crawford and Tank have fought who can put the other to sleep.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terrence Crawford look?
147?
147.
Shit, I tapped that Chan. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't
is.
got no Chan.
I already know he is.
Said no chance.
The focus has now shifted to who earns more money and has the better wife. It was only a matter of time before Crawford and his supporters responded to Tank's personal attacks. After Tank suggested a fight between him and Crawford, Crawford reached his breaking point and decided to confront him with some harsh truth. Crawford, tired of the drama, took to X to send Tank a blunt message: stop being scared and fight Shocker Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis before talking about someone on a level you'll never reach. These words hit hard, intensifying the already fiery exchange between two of boxing's biggest names. Crawford's challenge is deeply personal. Shocker Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis aren't just fighters to him, they're close friends, with Keyshawn even being his protege under their shared trainer, Brian B.A.C. McIntyre. But let's face it,
bigger fish to fry. Grow some balls and fight your core, Keyshawn, and stop being scared. That's probably why you ran your girl over and beat her ass, because you know you ain't got no nuts, my people. You know? And then right there, Javante pretty much insinuated if I was to fight Crawford, I'll make him look little. Then they both said, yeah, I want dudes to see me and try something. That would be his last going for greatness. And then Terrence said, go for it then. You feel me?
Keyshawn Davis hasn't yet proven himself on the big stage. His performances against Miguel Waco and Near Albright were disappointing, and many are quick to highlight his reluctance to face Cuban sensation Annie Cruz, who defeated him 4 times as an amateur. Despite this, Crawford believes Tank should be fighting at this level instead of always being mentioned in discussions with bigger names. While there is some truth to this, many fans still believe Tank has a chance against Crawford. However, Tank is not interested in fighting the two fighters Crawford has proposed. Tank knows his worth and has no intention of giving Keyshawn Davis the spotlight, especially since Keyshawn lacks a significant fan base and marketability. As for Shocker Stevenson, while his technical skills are impressive, his defensive style has led critics to label him as boring. Even Eddie Hearn, who signed Shocker with hopes of turning him into a global star, might struggle to market him in the United States. Tank doesn't believe a fight with Shocker is worth the effort, especially since Tank would be carrying the full promotional responsibility.
Javante Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes and, you know, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch him.
Wow.
Crawford wasn't finished though. He took things even further in a harsh tweet that he later deleted, where he attacked Tank's character and even brought up his personal issues. Crawford wrote, "That's probably why you ran your girl over and beat her ass, because you don't got no nuts, and she knows it," adding a laughing emoji. Boxing rivalries are nothing new, but this one has escalated to a whole new level, especially given the personalities involved. Normally, fighters focus on each other's careers and tactics, but once you start bringing up family and throwing personal insults, things spiral out of control. Crawford's savage jabs not only challenge Tank's career choices, but also go after his pride. Tank Davis didn't take the insult quietly. This followed Tank accusing Crawford of chasing paydays instead of greatness. Tank criticized Crawford's decision to challenge Canelo Alvarez, suggesting it was more about securing a large retirement payout than pursuing true glory. You really think he's chasing greatness? Tank posted on X he isn't. That's what he needs to do to make a respectable living. The numbers seem to back Tank's claim. with Crawford's recent fight against Arislandi Lara reportedly pulling in only 75,000 to 100,000 pay-per-view buys, far below the huge numbers Tank consistently generates. However, Crawford sees it differently. He argues that moving up to weight classes to face the unified super middleweight champion is all about securing his place in boxing history, his legacy. But Tank is skeptical, believing that Crawford's willingness to jump to divisions without first establishing himself at 168 pounds shows desperation. Fans are split, with some admiring Crawford's ambition and others agreeing with Tank, thinking the Canelo fight is more about money than glory. The tension between Crawford and Davis isn't new. It began after Crawford's dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr. as Crawford celebrated becoming the undisputed champion. Tank made headlines by claiming he could beat Crawford at 147 pounds. Crawford, when asked about it on *The Breakfast Club*, responded calmly but firmly, saying, "If he comes up to 147 thinking he's just going to knock me out, he's got another thing coming." It was a measured response, but with an underlying warning. Crawford isn't a boxer to be intimidated by. Despite the back and forth, a fight between the two seems unlikely for now, as Crawford has his sights set on a fight with Canelo Alvarez, a match that promises to be a major event.
You got guys who are really, really, really good, and they're not really hell-bent on becoming a star. I put you in that category. I put Terence in that category. Maybe Shakur, where they feel like they don't really want to, like, Terence ain't bothered about going to premieres.
Meanwhile, Tank Davis has already lined up his next opponent, Lamont Roach Jr., for a March 1st fight at the Barclays Center. Fans of both fighters are left wondering whether all this back and forth is just talk or if we might see Crawford and Davis square off in the ring in the future. The heated rivalry only adds to the allure of the debate. Some fans and commentators argue that Crawford is punching down by engaging with Tank, as Tank is much smaller at 135 pounds, and fighting Crawford at 147 pounds or higher could be a mismatch. Others believe Tank's confidence is misplaced and that he's underestimating Crawford's dominance at higher weight classes. Then there's the issue of marketability. While Crawford may not generate the same pay-per-view numbers as Tank, his achievements in the sport are undeniable. The question remains, should legacy take precedence over popularity in boxing? Tank, on the other hand, has never shied away from controversy. Critics accuse him of cherry-picking opponents and avoiding the toughest challenges in his weight class, such as Shocker Stevenson and Devin Haney. Crawford's comments about Tank being scared resonate with those who feel Davis has yet to prove himself against the very best. However, Tank supporters argue that he doesn't need to prove anything further. His impressive knockout record, ability to sell out arenas, and successful career speak volumes.